Hello gamers, and welcome back to another episode of Vidja Game Hunting. Memorial Day weekend marks the opening of the flea market in my area, so of course I had to go check it out and let's see what we find. Alright, so the first booth I came across here was a seller that I see pretty regularly at this flea market. They've generally got the best selection of games, and for the most part their prices are really reasonable, and they give good trade-in credit also, which is always nice. They definitely had a lot less retro stuff this year, or this weekend. A little disappointed with that, but I think that's pretty much everywhere, not just something with this seller. So here I managed to stumble across a box of Atari 5200 stuff. The controllers I was kind of interested in picking up, but some of the side buttons and stuff were broken like you commonly find on those, and they wouldn't go down on the price at all. She was asking more than I was willing to pay, and she said the reason for that was because they'd paid too much for the storage unit they bought them out of, which is kind of a poor excuse. Just because you overpaid doesn't mean you should try and sell crap for more than it's worth. Just my opinion though. And here's another vendor that usually has a small amount of games. Generally see them here quite a bit too. He always prices stuff on the very high end though. If there's enough stuff that I can justify grabbing, he'll usually go down and do a bundle price, but there was nothing that really caught my attention this time. Alright, yeah, so not bad for the opening weekend of the flea market in my area. As you can see, there were a lot of booths and vendors set up. Not a lot of games, probably the least amount of games I've seen there over a weekend. So I'm hoping that changes as we go further into the season, but I still managed to find some deals. Everything I picked up, I'll go through here. I spent $28 at the flea market this weekend. Most of it came from that first booth that I went by. And I'll post a link below to the Facebook page of those sellers. They're out of St. Cloud, Minnesota, but they do travel around quite a bit, so if you're at all in the area, definitely make a point to check them out. So from those guys, I picked up a nice stack of games. They're always pretty good to me at this point. They've seen me stop by the booth a few times, so they usually knock a few bucks off. So I picked up one Game Boy game, and it's one that I've been wanting for a while here. It's Motocross Maniacs. It seems to come up a lot on people's favorite games, Game Boy games, or hidden gem lists maybe. So I'm looking forward to giving that one a shot. And now I got one Genesis game, and I'm kind of a sucker for Disney games on any system. So I picked up Ariel, the Little Mermaid. I've never played this one for the Genesis. Hopefully it's good, or at least as good as the NES one. I actually kind of like that one a lot. It's pretty decent. And then I picked up a couple NES games that I didn't already have. So the first one here is Rampart, which is a fun game, arcade game, I believe, arcade port, good game. And a Capcom game that I've actually never played before, and it's one that I usually see for quite a bit, well not quite a bit, but it seems to be trending up in price lately. It's usually around $10, and that's Little Nemo, the Dream Master, and I think I got that one for $6. So I'm happy to pick that up and give it a shot. I haven't gotten to play it yet, but I'm looking forward to it. And then a game I picked up just a few weeks ago for the N64. It's Vigilante 8. And having played it again on the 64, I was amazed at how well it held up. And I would much rather play this type of game on the PlayStation controller over the N64. So had to grab this one. Gonna give that some more time on the PlayStation for sure. I was really getting back into that game on the 64. And then one Saturn pickup, and that is Independence Day. Not an amazing game, but I don't have a lot of games in my Saturn collection, and this is one I never got a chance to play. I always wanted to get it for the PlayStation, but just never got around to picking it up. So then, the other seller there had the Atari 5200 stuff, just some controllers and MISC things. I couldn't come to an agreement on the price on that stuff. The controllers were not in the best shape, of course, but as I was walking out, I saw in another box with some random computer stuff, Mario Brothers, complete in box, in great condition for the Atari 5200. She sold this to me for $1 actually, and it looks great. I mean, the artwork, classic artwork, and it's always neat to see these old Nintendo games on other systems back before the NES, when they would actually license games for other consoles. So I had to pick it up. It'll look great on the Atari shelf there. I'll probably never get to play it because I have no desire to pick up an Atari 5200 at all, but it's a nice display piece. So not a bad weekend at the flea market. I'm hoping we start to see more video games, at least more NES stuff. That's what I'm always after. And it was a little disappointing that there was a lot less of that at the flea market this year, but it is just the opening weekend, so we'll see what the summer holds here. And now on from the flea market, I actually did get a Craigslist deal, amazingly enough, for a system that I've kind of been watching for the price to drop, to really kind of pull the trigger on that. And that was a PlayStation TV. Now this guy had it listed for $40, talked him down to $30, and you know, it's not a bad little device. I'm mostly planning to use this to do the remote play for my PlayStation 4, so I can play that on another TV in the house. But all in all, it's a decent little system. I mean, really, it's getting tough to find Vita games, though. I think that system's doing worse than the Wii U, which really says something. So you don't come across a lot of Vita games. They're almost gone in stores now. But for $30, I couldn't pass that up. And I did manage to pick up one game. I went out and looked and found something to play on the thing. And at the pawn shop, I picked up Dragon's Crown, which is an Atlas game. It's a side-scrolling beat-em-up. Really awesome art style, and really enjoying it. I've only got about an hour into it so far. And this is one I'd wanted for the PlayStation 3, but every time I see it, even used, it's about $30. I managed to snag this for $15. And I'm looking forward to getting into that one a little bit more. It's a game I've been wanting to play for a very long time. And then one last random pickup. I was at Walmart. I found for the Wii U Skylanders Giants, $10. You know, I've never really wanted to get into the Skylanders thing, and I certainly don't plan on buying more figures for it. I kind of already went nuts with Amiibos, obviously, but for $10, you know, it looks like a decent platformer. I'll give it a shot, and you know, if it's no good, I'm sure I can sell it or trade it off. But just kind of had to grab it. But anyway, yeah, that's it for this week, guys. As always, thanks for watching. And I will talk to you all next time.